I want to comment on something that's news and critical right now, literally as we speak, up in the United States Senate. And I think, quite frankly, it's a shameful example of business as usual. More than a decade ago, the Congress set up a formula that governs how doctors get paid by the Medicare program. Or put another way, how could we be assured that seniors would have access to doctors wherever they lived, and know that those doctors, and therefore they'd be fairly compensated for their time and their effort. And so we set up this system, and the intent was to slow the growth of Medicare costs, but the result has been these proposed payment cuts that were built into this formula have resulted in, or will result in, America's doctors year after year, if we don't keep it going, finding themselves constantly wondering about whether or not their cost of doing business are going to skyrocket. Their pay that they get for the work they've done, even though we've cut overall cost, is going to decline to the point they may not participate. This year, a majority of the United States Congress is decided that, in raw terms, that we should continue this program and make sure doctors get paid, therefore patients get treated. But this year, a majority wanted to prevent this pay cut, that is, keep this program going. The pay cut that would undoubtedly force an awful lot of doctors to see an awful lot of patients out there, Medicare patients. And ultimately, last night, though, the Republicans blocked a fiscally responsible agreement to protect doctors, but more importantly, protect seniors by allowing this 21% pay cut to go into effect. As of today, doctors are going to see that their Medicare payments jeopardizing the ability of them to see seniors is going to be kicked into motion. The 21% cuts going into effect. This time, the other party decided that they weren't going to participate in trying to deal with this straight up. And so I urge my colleagues on the Republican side to put politics aside for a minute here and let the Senate vote. Let the United States Senate vote on behalf of seniors in this country, allowing their doctors to get paid fairly. As a nation, we have a responsibility to fix this problem so that our doctors can get paid for the life-saving services they provide for our seniors. And Republican leaders, I would respectfully suggest, have an obligation, a responsibility to stop walking away from these needs, stop playing brinksmanship and politics with this every time it rolls around, and fix this problem. I would add that the failure to deal with this problem adds to the anxiety of seniors all over the United States of America and complicates the planning for medical practices. You know, my mom has passed away, but a lot of you have senior parents now. Even though my mother had 4 children who would take care of her needs if there weren't Medicare and would be able to do that, my mom, when we'd come up to these spots, she'd grab me and she'd live with me and say, "Joey, I mean, am I going to be able to see my doctor? If you think I'm kidding, go back and ask your mothers or fathers if they're alive and they're on Medicare. They get it. And it's just not fair to keep this anxiety level constantly in play here." And so the President and I are committed to a long-term solution that balances our fiscal responsibilities with the responsibility of the senior citizens of this country. And we've already taken significant steps to slow the growth of Medicare costs through the health insurance reform proposal that was passed, but not by targeting doctors and seniors, but by eliminating the 50% of the waste, fraud, and abuse in the system that exists by 2012. This is only going to strengthen Medicare, and it's going to save taxpayers money. But to continue this little brinksmanship game, you know, and increasing the anxiety of so many people is just not the responsible way, in my view, for us to go.